How's it going, everyone? Thank you for clicking on the video. Please excuse my voice. I've just got back from Gamescom, a lot of late nights, and a lot of talking. It was a fantastic event. I'm slowly getting some of the footage from the event. There are embargoes for other games, but today is all about my first impressions of Zombie Army VR. Now, it was probably one of the weirdest demos I've done in a while because there was no sound to the demo. The guy said from Rebellion that I couldn't use headphones because of health and safety reasons. I'm assuming something to do with COVID. I thought it was a bit strange because obviously I'm putting a headset that everyone else has probably used on my face. I thought it was a bit weird. But anyway, got into the game and there was immediate worrying signs. And before I go any further, I asked the Rebellion guy, what state is this game? When is it coming out? And to be clear, it hasn't got a release date, but he said it is the final version, which is why I'm making this video. But it's still a first impressions, because obviously I haven't played the whole game to review it. But there was just certain things that got alarm bells ringing. One was there was something called a satchel button. You press X and it says satchel comes up. It's just a clear menu. And I said to the guy, why can't I just have a satchel? You know, in VR, you just have a satchel or a bag. I find it very bizarre that the word satchel exists and there isn't a satchel. I've never seen that before, and I don't know why. Just being blunt, why in VR you wouldn't have a satchel? I think that's it. Kind of like just for something like that for VR players, it's going to set a precedent. It's going to set a thing of like, so how immersive is this? Went into the game. It all looks quite good, actually. It's on PSVR 2. I wouldn't say it was excellent. I would say it was pretty average, but it was fine. You know, it was not as good as the trailers, but it was close to the trailers. You couldn't two-hand the pistol, which I thought was a bit strange. The menus were broken, so like if there was like a bit of text that came up, you'd have to go into the options to remove the text, and then go back to the game. And the gameplay was just dull. It wasn't really exciting. So one of the things, this game isn't being made by the same developers that made Sniper Elite. That was by Just Add Water, who have just released Dig VR, by the way. This is by XR Games, who made the brilliant Zombieland, and the PSVR 2 version of Zombieland is absolutely fantastic. So I'm not sure what's happened with this game, because it's coming from them. The first impressions of this game make it completely forgettable for me. It's not a game that I want to play based on first impressions. So I'm definitely still going to review it. Using the bolt action on a rifle was so finicky. It just kept ejecting bullets now and again. That was a bit rubbish. The slow-mo thing, because Zombie Army is part of the Sniper Elite franchise, there was no like bone destruction. You know, you could shoot him in the teeth and the teeth remained. And again, I was like, are you sure this is a release version? He was like, yeah, this is the release version. And I don't believe him. To be honest, I don't believe him because it was just not good in general. You know, I walked around, shot some zombies. The weapons look okay. And there's pretty cool upgrades for each of the guns. The gameplay was so meh. And considering if you think now we have things like Call of Duty, Zombies in Contractors, After the Fall, games where you're just fighting hordes of zombies and undead, I don't know how this game's going to fit. I think if it had 4-player, I think it's going to be more enjoyable. But 2-player, I mean, it could be good. I was so worried when I played it. At the time I came out and I was like, that game was terrible. That's how it felt at the time. It felt terrible. But I want to hold my complete thoughts for the review. So I mean, if you're still interested in checking it out, wishlisting isn't a bad thing. But if there was pre-orders, I would say don't pre-order it. Wait for some reviews from channels you trust. It looks like there's a lot of content. You can select different difficulties. You can select different characters. As I said, the weapon upgrades were cool. He also said it's around an 8-hour single-player campaign. Did say that he hadn't seen anyone play it like I did. I had the highest accuracy he'd ever seen out of all the demos. So, I mean, you could probably knock that 8 down to a 6, just to be on the safe side, but he quoted 8. And yeah, just in general, it's very, very lackluster. You know, as a gaming experience, it was poor. It was poor. If you asked me, would I buy it based on these first impressions, I would immediately just take it off my radar and just forget about it. But I know not all of you want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to say these things about these games. Luckily, there was some great stuff at Gamescom, and I will be making more videos about it. I've got some embargoes, as I said, coming up. But Zombie Army was actually the worst out of all the games I tried. You can see what I've added from my footage. Unfortunately, there is no sound. I don't know why the file they sent me hasn't got any sound either, but I didn't actually hear it anyway, which made it a particularly odd experience. Without sound, it gave me more of a chance to focus on the actual gameplay. You know, there was nothing else to really wow me apart from what I actually felt and what I actually saw. There's 3 types of reloading. There's auto, manual, and I think he said like authentic. The one called manual has like it's like an auto stick. If I try and put a clip in my pistol with manual selected, it won't go in with me pushing it. I have to put the clip near the pistol and it would like suck it in. I hope that makes sense to you. It's not, I think genuinely if I played most games I would simply go for authentic anyway, but there's also an auto reload. But yeah, like the shotgun shells, they worked kind of fine, you know. Some games you get used to putting shells near and they go in, but the clip thing was a bit weird because why wouldn't it let me push it in even though it's on manual? Even if it's got this sticky thing, surely if the game thinks I'm picking up, I am going to put this in anyway, it would let me, but it doesn't. So yeah, all in all, a bit worrying about Zombie Army VR. Sorry to be a downer. I felt down about it, so I'm just sharing my feelings. There are some brilliant games to be shown very soon. I was looking forward to this. I am looking forward to reviewing it. Hopefully it'll be better. Thank you for any likes and anyone who subscribes. Let me know your comments down below, and I will see you on the next one.